There we go then. I called it. Francis Ngannou KOs Renan Ferreira in the very first round. And yes, there you go. Francis Ngannou is back with a bang in MMA and is now the new PFL World Heavyweight Champion. Unbelievable stuff there from Francis Ngannou. Unbelievable performance. Starts well on the feet to start it off, and eventually shoots a takedown on Ferreira and gets it first time, takes him down, beats him up on the ground, landing a good few punches. It looks like Ferreira is trying to set up a triangle on Ngannou, but Ngannou was able to break out with it. Got Ferreira in the right position, and just started absolutely bloody smashing him with some absolutely huge shots on the ground. The power of Francis Ngannou is bloody different in MMA. It is different to any other MMA fighter's power, and literally knocked Ferreira's spark out on the ground with some massive ground and pound punches. Unbelievable from Francis Ngannou, to be honest with you. Unbelievable stuff to end what has been, a horrible year for Francis Ngannou personally, losing his son, of course. And, we're all really bloody happy for Francis Ngannou getting that win there. There were loads of people bloody questioning him about, getting knocked out against Anthony Joshua early on in the year. Could that have affected him? But Ngannou just went in there, looked decent on the feet for like the first minute or so, landing some decent shots. Ferreira as well, but not a load going on. But Ngannou looked decent on the feet. But then eventually just shot a real good, unpredictable takedown that Ferreira was not expecting at all. And Ngannou just beat him up on the ground. And I think that's something that not many people were thinking, for Ngannou to, be the first one to actually shoot the takedown and just beat him and beat Ferreira up on the ground, brutally knocking him out as well. The referee in there literally just wanted to see Ngannou, beat the bloody guy to death, it bloody looked like. Honestly, it was a bit of a late stoppage, but because just the absolute power of Ngannou, though, him absolutely unloading on Ferreira, was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. The anger coming out of Francis Ngannou right onto Ferreira, and Ferreira was a huge victim of a, brutal Francis Ngannou KO there. Ngannou took it all out on Ferreira, and that's all she wrote. And Ngannou, a really emotional moment for him in the end there, and he shows why he is possibly still the top heavyweight in the whole of MMA. I think he's better than John Jones. Could he be better than Aspinall? I don't know. That would be interesting. We're not going to see that, though, unfortunately, because they're both in different promotions. But that there from Ngannou was different, and the wrestling as well was better there. It was much better than what we saw from Gane, to be fair, because Ngannou looked to actually be doing something. With Gane, he wasn't really doing anything. There against Ferreira, who is more actually known to be a wrestler than what someone like Gane is. I mean, Ferreira's not really a wrestler, he's more of a striker, but he has got that background, of course. He's Brazilian. Ferreira's got that background. And Ngannou just took him down with ease. Ferreira was not expecting it at all. That's what Ngannou had to do, in my opinion. Ngannou was smart with the game plan and showed that he is now more of a well-rounded guy. And that's what we like to see from Ngannou. He showed his power, showed that, he's good on the feet as well at times for the first minute or so. Shot the unpredictable takedown. It was a brilliant level change from Francis Ngannou as well. A brilliant level change from him. And there you go. And, a lot of things that people have been questioning over the years about Francis Ngannou is, of course, what his takedown defense is like and what he was always like on the ground. But Ngannou's really showing it more now. And his ground game's improved, and I'm glad that he's really starting to show it more in his game. The takedown from him was bloody explosive as hell. The level change, the takedown, literally ragdolled Ferreira to get him down. And it was just so easy for him as well. And Ngannou's showing the strength. And people were like, oh, look, Ferreira's so much bigger than him. But Ngannou literally just beat the hell out of him, did not give a shit whatsoever. And, I'm so happy for Francis, to be fair. I'm so happy for Francis. Did what he had to do in a good, solid, different kind of performance from him as well. And you know, I mean, Ngannou didn't wrestle this time because his knees were bad or anything like that. He did it because, you know, it was a good part of the game plan, in my opinion. And yeah, a good fun finish there from Francis Ngannou. A classic fun finish from Ngannou over another big man in Ferreira. And that fight was always going to end in the first round, no matter what. It was always a bloody must-watch fight because that fight was always going to end in the first round, no matter what way it was going to go. But I knew Francis Ngannou would come in for vengeance, and I knew he'd do it. The power from Francis Ngannou from any other guy is different. And from Ferreira, Ngannou just showed a different level. Ngannou showed why he was a top UFC guy and why Ferreira's where he is. And, you know, the level of guys that Francis Ngannou's fought has shown compared to the level of guys that Ferreira has fought. And I called that in my predictions of the fight as well. I called that. And it was so obvious. It was so obvious. Ngannou's a different level to all of these PFL heavyweights. He 100% is. Ferreira was the top guy. Who else is there in the PFL that would actually make sense and could actually really properly trouble Francis Ngannou? There's no one. There's no one. Ferreira was PFL's last hope there and literally couldn't do anything there whatsoever. And for Ferreira, the thing with him is that, you know, if Ferreira was to win that fight, he would have shot straight off to the UFC or possibly rematch Ngannou, I don't know. But Ferreira, if he won, probably would have shot right off to the UFC. And there you go. But now Ferreira, he's not going to get any opportunity like this ever bloody again. He's not going to get an opportunity like that again. Ngannou literally outclassed him in every single way possible inside 5 minutes. That's the reality of that. Ngannou literally wrecked and destroyed Renan Ferreira there and made easy work out of it. He made easy work out of it there, Francis Ngannou. And Ferreira was just screwed in that fight. Was screwed in that fight from the get-go. Francis Ngannou came out, showed dominance from the off on the feet. Level change, get him down, ragdoll him. Ferreira tried to get a triangle in. Ngannou didn't care, broke out of it. He was clearly the stronger man in there. Then beat him up with some vicious, and I mean vicious, ground and pound to get the win. And we're all happy for Francis Ngannou there. And, you know, Ferreira has got that threat there on the feet. He has, but you couldn't get Francis Ngannou out of there. You couldn't do anything with Francis. Francis has got a good chin, and Francis is good at being able to beat you to the punch as well. And that's what happened today. He beat him to the punch on the feet. He beat him to the takedown. Francis Ngannou wins and beat him to the KO as well. Francis Ngannou is the new PFL World Heavyweight Champ. Let's go!